Teardrops.
For fun, force feed our fear until our hearts go numb. Addicted to a lonely kind of love. What I wanna know is how we got this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm tripping on the edge, high as a kite. I'm never coming down. And if you hear me, guess you know how it feels to be alone. That's how we get this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so far, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. The emptiness is heavier than you think. She breaks her whole set. talk too much. Put me out of my misery. My mind feels like an arch enemy. Can't look me in the eyes. I don't know what hurts the most. Hold it on or let it go. Reliving my memories, and they're killing me one by one. And I'm staring into the void again. No one knows what a mess I'm in. The voices in my head say I'm just being paranoid.
Alright, everybody. Welcome to the World Online Racing Championship. JP Designs Open Wheel Tour here at Bristol Motor Speedway as we take these road cars and put them on an oval. First of 3 on the season for the ovals in the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour. Thank you to our sponsor, JP Designs. Go check them out on Facebook at JP Designs. JP Designs02 is his username, and he also has a website up there on his Facebook too. If you want a good scheme for him, he only charges $5 per scheme. So he also does a few other things iRacing related. So go check out JP Designs for all of your iRacing design needs. My name is Braison Collins. I'm alone in the booth once again. If you remember last week, we didn't have a leaderboard, unfortunately, due to some ATVO issues. I also don't have a leaderboard for this week. Gonna work on getting that fixed. Getting second monitor in order and everything. But for now, drivers are in qualifying as we have the scenic cam here on the beautiful half mile. I believe it's 30 degrees banking. I don't know, honestly. I'm not too keen on those statistics, but it's Bristol. Everybody knows Bristol. Every race fan across the world knows Bristol. In fact, speaking of international things, we've actually got 3 drivers in this, or not 3 drivers, but 3 countries being represented in today's race. As we see the drivers hit the grid, and Aiden Kirker is your pole sitter for today. We're going to go through the rest of the lineup here as looks like Parker White starts P2 here. So we got Aiden Kirker P1, Parker White P2. Looks like we got Blake Kennedy P3. I cannot tell who P4 is at the moment. Josh Patterson P4. P5 we got Joe Burgy, and P6 is blinking out. It looks, I can't tell who that is to be honest. We'll figure that out. Max Swearingen, next row inside. Brady Weileman, who was outside in the pizza car. Then we got Henry Klappert, Richard Mandoncha, Boyd Payne, Jay Mulder, James Jungemann, and tag in the rear there looks like Chris Jones. Chris Jones out of Australia, Boyd Payne, Jay Mulder out of Canada. In fact, that's kind of a Canadian row right there we got. And yeah, so these guys are going to be pacing around the oval. These are not going to be like our normal road starts, where we have a standing start. We'll do our normal oval thing. We'll do a couple pace laps, go green. Big thing to note is points leader Adam Morrow not making the call here today. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's because he's working, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, Adam Morrow not making the call today. So Parker White, who won last week, and Blake Kennedy, who finished second, are starting second and third for tonight at Bristol, and that's going to be your battle for the points lead after this race. Going to be between Blake and Parker. So good to see them second and third right behind each other, neck and neck. Going to be entertaining. Aiden Kirker. Guy who I believe, if I remember correctly, in statistics-wise, Aiden Kirker has the highest winning percentage of any driver in WORC. So Aiden Kirker, I believe it's like 27, 28%, as I don't know what Josh Patterson is doing. Aiden Kirker, one of the guys who's almost guaranteed to win, as he has a pole to his statistics here in WORC, as Blake Kennedy blinks out there. So, Aiden Kirker, Parker White, your front row here. Looks like we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 drivers on the grid. Not too sure. Ryan Martin, I can't tell if he made the call or not. Actually, that might be Ryan Martin in that U.S. Navy car. I am trying to figure out which one's Ryan Martin and which one's Scott Dawkins. We're going to figure that out, though. Pace car lights are off as they make their pace laps around the Great Coliseum here in Bristol, Tennessee, host of many, many NASCAR races. Host of some of the biggest super late model races around the United States. And now it plays host to the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour. 85 laps on tap tonight here in Bristol. Next week we head to the Charlotte Roval, and then we take off for Thanksgiving break. Next week in the UMP Modified Series, we head to Knoxville. Catch that on Extreme Sim TV. As pace car makes a hard left turn, Aiden Kirker and Parker White will take us to the green flag here at Bristol. Parker White having a little bit of an advantage on that top side. Kirker is going to get the run on the inside, and Parker White's actually going to lose a lot of ground here as they are 2 by 2 through most of the field. Kennedy blinks out a little bit. And I blink out a little bit. Technical difficulties there, my apologies. Not too sure what that was. Lap 1 completed, and Kirker and White side by side as the field makes their way around. Kennedy dropping to the back, it looks like, due to his blinking perhaps. As looks like Boyd Payne tagging the rear there. No, Chris Jones, never mind. Jay Mulder back there as well. So through the field we go with these guys. Lap 3 down in the books. Josh Patterson making a charge to the front here. He blinks out. Patterson is gone. Not too sure what happened there. But Joe Burgy now takes over P3 in the 83 machine as Patterson is still gone. Not too sure what happened to Patterson. Technical issues on his end as well. As looks like in the rear we have a little bit of a battle perhaps between Chris Jones and Blake Kennedy. Kennedy blinking out again. Got some good racing here in the mid-pack. Henry Klappert to the inside of Scott Dawkins, I believe. With Brady Weileman right there as we've got a car sparking. Saw sparks flying from the rear end of that 46. Perhaps tapped the wall a little bit. Got that right rear. James Jungemann also in that battle as Swearingen catches now the front four. Josh Patterson blinks back into action here as they're 2 by 2. And Parker White still holding tough on the outside line. Some really good racing here as we've got a giant pack. Josh Patterson going 3 wide up the middle. Shoves Parker White to the top side. And Patterson now to the outside of Aiden Kirker. Can Patterson get something done? As Patterson is going to look to pinch down on Kirker. Good racing towards the back of them. But this is just one giant pack basically. That top 5 not too separated as here comes Henry Klappert driving through the field. He's up to P6. Parker White pushing Patterson as we go through the field real quick here. What a pack. As Parker White peeked a little bit to the inside of Patterson there. Burgy peeks to the inside of Kirker. Neither of them can get anything done right there. Being very cautious here. Parker White looking to the middle of Patterson, looking to make the same move that Josh did. Josh, a very aggressive driver, and everybody knows that driver of the O2. He knows how to find his way to the front. Henry Klappert now puts his name into the mix here as he's going to move Swearingen up the racetrack a little bit. Parker White now going to shoot it 3 wide through the middle. And Parker pulling the same move Josh did. Josh going to get back in line. And now Josh Patterson with a run to the outside of Parker White. He's going to take him 3 wide again. Parker White nearly going to clear Kirker. Patterson way up the racetrack. Swearingen followed him up the track there. As some tight racing up here up towards the front. Man, look at this pack. It's just crazy to me. As we had another guy blink out. Couldn't quite tell who that was. Looked like it's whoever's behind Patterson in front of Swearingen maybe. I don't know. As Josh Patterson looks really fast. He's looking like he's able to control these runs. Henry Klappert clips the apron a little bit there in P5 in that BMW livery machine as Burgy's going to drop to the back. And Patterson keeping it towards the middle. Klappert looking to the inside and they're sliding. Kennedy and Jungemann. Oh, we got a car up and around. Boyd Payne hard into the inside wall. And that's going to bring out the yellow? No. That will not bring out the yellow as Aiden Kirker is on the apron. And Parker White now fighting for the lead. Richard Mandonsha, where did he come from? As they're going to go back to 3 wide for the lead here. But, oh, I thought Mandoncha may have had his right front wheel in between Patterson and Klappert right there. As Mandoncha is in the middle, very close to contact there. Henry dips a little bit low, catches the apron a little bit there. As Brady Weileman now throwing his hand into the mix. James Jungemann with damage up there. Chris Jones up there, the Australian. Oh, Swearingen gets clipped! Hard goes Swearingen into the outside wall. That'll bring out the yellow. Wow, Max Swearingen got clipped, got loose, couldn't save it, and Parker White will take the lead there as we're going to pull up the WORC replay real quick as we try to figure out what happened there with Max Swearingen to send him around early in this one. So we'll pull that up real quick. Looks like right here on the WORC replay that Max Swearingen was just pack racing here. Youngman blinks out and looks like, oh, netcode. Netcode gets the 00 as he slides and hard into the outside wall he goes. That is unfortunate for the driver of the 00 today as Swearingen pulls it into pit road, and we will be going live now here under caution. So there's Max Swearingen on pit road. Tough break for him. That World's Racing 00 machine. He's got a lot of damage. Not sure he'll get that fixed. Meanwhile, coming off of pit road, looks like Mulders? No, never mind. They okay. Looks like Chris Jones stays his way out here in this one, as we will be going standby real quick into commercial break while these drivers are under caution. And we are back here, a little over 20 laps in, here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the JP Designs Open Wheel Tours. Chris Jones, the Australian, looking to be the leader here as we are pacing under yellow for the incident with Max Swearingen getting net coded by James Jungemann here. Pace car lights are off, and Chris Jones, Parker White, Aiden Kirker, Brady Weileman, Henry Klappert, your top 5 here. Weileman and Klappert came from the back. Kirker and White have been battling it out the whole time. Mandoncha right there, he came from the back as well. Burgy's been up front. Kennedy's been in and out, blinking, but he's here. So single file restart, and the Australian Chris Jones will get to control it here as we watch the pace truck, Pace truck has the lights off here as he comes around, takes the hard left turn into the pit road, and Chris Jones leads us green flag as Henry Klappert already looking to the outside of Weileman. Weileman did not get that good of a start, and probably a mistake on Klappert's part to move up, as Kirker didn't get that good of a start either, and they're battling for the lead with Parker White and Chris Jones. Behind them, a huge pack of cars as Klappert gets really close to that back wing of Brady Weileman. Parker White assumes the lead from Chris Jones. Meanwhile, Burgy all the way down to the apron trying to get by Mandoncha in the 46. Mandoncha a little bit slow down there. As Kennedy blinks out, my bad. And it looks like Ryan Martin has some damage here as he's racing with Max Swearingen. Feels bad for Swearingen, he was up there in that pack. Patterson falls back a little bit. Kirker clears Mandoncha and he's pulling away, trying to catch Chris Jones. As Joe Burgy now trying to get away from Weileman and Mandoncha, looks like. Not sure if Burgy's faster or what, but he's now on the inside of Weileman. Can he get to the inside of Mandoncha? He does. Burgy now trying to be the next guy to clear Mandoncha here. We've got a three-way battle for the lead up here. Parker White, Aiden Kirker, and Chris Jones. Jones gives up second. Meanwhile, I see cars getting loose. And looks like we're okay here. It looked like Weileman got loose on the straightaway. We're looking good now as Burgy to the inside of Mandoncha there, side by side. Klappert throwing his hat into the ring. Kennedy and Patterson just a little bit further back. Not too sure what to do here in this situation. As meanwhile, back up front, we see Chris Jones, Aiden Kirker, and Parker White. Kirker to the inside of White. They're going at it again. Remember, these two set the front row. And Parker White, who won last week, is looking to secure the points lead here after points leader Adamaro is a no-show for tonight. So can White hold off Kirker here as Kirker gets looking to the outside. Can't quite get there. Chris Jones peeking to the inside, gets a little loose, fishtails it down to the inside, and he can't quite make anything happen here. Jones really looking to try to get the inside to work. He may get it there. He gets a little bit to the left rear quarter. Meanwhile, we're three wide back here for fourth. Burgy, Patterson, and Mandoncha. Patterson wasting no time trying to get back to the front here as Klappert may throw his hand into the ring to try to make it three wide as well. As they're still three wide, Klappert has to back off of Patterson's rear wing. Mandoncha having to give a lot of room to Burgy here as they're still three wide. Nobody wanting to give, everybody trying to take here. As Klappert now keeping it three wide. Weileman gets loose. Kennedy gets loose behind them. And if Patterson can clear Burgy and Mandoncha, then Klappert's going to try to follow Patterson's suit. Mandoncha finally gives it up, and looks like Klappert may give it up too. No, Klappert throws it in really deep, gets to the apron. They're three wide again. They've caught the leaders as well here, as Patterson now gets the draft to Chris Jones. As Klappert, Burgy, Mandoncha still three wide back here. Patterson now working on Chris Jones. As, wow, Kirker goes to the lead on Parker White. And they get really close to touching back there. Mandoncha, Weileman, and looked like Kennedy or Klappert. As Klappert was trying to battle with Mandoncha, Burgy lost it a little bit. And now here comes Josh Patterson to the lead. Patterson to the inside of Kirker from last. He got an EOL, a pit road penalty, and Patterson drives up through the field with Joe Burgy there too. And Burgy looking to make it three wide, and he does. They're three wide for the lead. Burgy, Patterson, and Aiden Kirker in the 39. Three wide here at Bristol. Oh, contact! Hard on the outside wall goes Kirker. Chris Jones around. That will not bring out the yellow. Heavy contact, racing three wide for the lead is going to prematurely end Aiden Kirker's night. Meanwhile, Mandoncha and Burgy are battling for the lead. Here comes Klappert. Klappert's right there. Can Klappert do something about this? Patterson's still a little in the mix despite damage. Not sure who else got involved in that one. As Burgy keeping it on the inside here. Mandoncha holding on, pinching him down here. Mandoncha and Burgy, both WORC veterans. As they're, wow. Henry Klappert's right on that back wing of Burgy. In fact, I think he just made a little bit of contact. This is going to throw Brady Weileman into the ring here. Weileman in the 3. Nobody second, third, or fourth has a win in WORC. Although they do have many starts among all three of them. As Klappert gets moved up the track by Patterson. Klappert having to hold his line three wide. Patterson being as aggressive as possible here. As Burgy fighting hard for the lead. Patterson wasting no time. He's going to dive to the inside of Burgy. And Mendoza comes down on Burgy, takes out Weileman. That'll be the yellow. Mendoza hard into the wall, takes out Weileman with him. And we are going to have to pull up the WORC replay for that one. Here we are back with the replay. And you just see it right there, Mendoza comes down on Weileman, hard for Weileman. We're going to get another point of view of that real quick here. We're going to get it from Richard Mendoza's point of view here in far chase cam. We're going to be able to take a look here and see what's going on. Looks like Mendoza battling hard for the lead with Burgy. Yeah, Mendoza just comes down right into Burgy. Burgy may have a lot of damage from that, but that unfortunately will end Mendoza and Weileman's Knights prematurely here, as we will be heading back live now. That was some hard racing for sure. As meanwhile, we're gonna get back up front with Josh Patterson. Here is he's gonna be leading the field under yellow. Blake Kennedy up to second, and Parker White, I believe, was involved in that incident with Aiden Kirker. Let's go through pit road. Lots of damaged race cars down there. Parker White with a ton of damage, and he was looking to assume the points lead tonight with a very strong showing. Boyd Payne wrecked early on, and then we also saw Aiden Kirker get sandwiched into the wall. Unfortunate for him. Lots of underdog names here. Not too sure what happened with Burgy. There's Burgy, who was involved in that wreck. Chris Jones, who's been up front, but Blake Kennedy has come up to second place. He started P3, scooted his way to the apron early on, dropped to the back, and now he's saying this is a good time to be P2. We're going to go WORC standby for just a quick second here. We are back from standby, as we are over halfway here in this one. Josh Patterson, the leader here, as pace car lights are out. It's single file restart. Jay Mulder, excuse me, the WORC Truck Series champion, up in P3. Henry Klappert, surprise name, up in P4. Chris Jones to P5. Parker White P6. Burgy P7. And Ryan Martin P8 here is they're what's left of what was once a 15, 16 maybe car field. Lots of carnage here in the open wheel series as Patterson gets a huge restart. Kennedy does not really get going as we head into 3 and 4. And Kennedy blinks out. Burgy trying to make his way back through the field. He's already passed a couple cars there. But this is right now in Josh Patterson's control. Blake Kennedy currently going to be the points leader here, as long as he doesn't blink out, of course. Kennedy going to look to the outside of Patterson. Maybe no, he's going to try to arc his corner in there. Kennedy peeks to the inside. He throws it in aggressively on Patterson, and he's actually going to clear Patterson here. Josh Patterson gives up the lead to Blake Kennedy. Here's Henry Klappert in P3. He passes Jay Mulder. Patterson going right back at Blake Kennedy here into turn 1. Patterson will clear Blake Kennedy, and Henry Klappert, not really a guy who's seen the front of the field too much in his league racing career so far, although it's young, is now up to P2 here. He's going to look to the inside of... Oh! Henry Klappert gets his front wing taken off! Or did he? Okay. Not sure what happened there. Klappert looks slow, however. Got a little too close to Patterson, and Klappert with damage. You can see for sure lots of damage to the front wing of the 34 machine. And that didn't last too long for him. Meanwhile, Parker White, damaged as he is, has driven his way back up to the front here. And Burgy up to P2 after calling the EOL on himself for causing the incident with Mandancia. Burgy now right behind Patterson. Let's get a look here at Henry Klappert. He has definitely fallen back a lot. And he may need to go in and get some damage replacement if we have a yellow here. However, I can tell you right now, I don't think Burgy nor Patterson looking for a yellow, as they are side by side here for the lead into one. And Parker White, we've seen him, he will show some aggression as well. And Patterson goes up the track into Burgy. They save it. Parker White to the inside now, 3 wide for the lead here. Burgy leaning hard on Patterson. Patterson has been super aggressive here. He's going to touch Burgy again. I can tell the right rear wheel, it looks like, for Patterson. You can see a little bit of damage into it as Burgy, aggressive move trying to get to the inside here. Chris Jones lays back. Patterson going right at it, side pod to side pod, wheel to wheel with Parker White. And Patterson may clear White here off the exit. Not sure if White's damage is part of that. Patterson really close to White, forcing them on the apron. Burgy down to the apron. Blake Kennedy now trying to make a charge up to the front here. As he hasn't fallen too far back. He did lift a little bit there, though. Kennedy loses a little bit of ground getting too high. And we're going to look real quick. Through pit row has still got 3 cars there. As Ryan Martin and Henry Klappert battle it out right there. Feels really bad for Klappert up in P2 before getting front wing damage. He's hoping for a caution right now to get that thing repaired, and he's about almost gotten it a couple times here with Patterson and Burgy going neck and neck with Parker White in the mix too. Chris Jones, meanwhile, takes P4 with Blake Kennedy putting himself P5 here as Parker White to the inside of Josh Patterson. That rear wing damage that you can visibly see, not looking too major, as Patterson really trying to pinch Parker White here. Joe Burgy, meanwhile, is going to dive it in 3 wide for the lead again. We've seen Burgy and Patterson both make similar moves. They like to dive it in there on the inside. Joe Burgy now takes the lead here. Patterson blinks out, and Blake Kennedy now dives to the inside of Chris Jones. Patterson blinks back right into Parker White. That was almost scary. If netcode had occurred there, that could have taken out White, Patterson, possibly more. As Patterson right back to the outside of Burgy, trying to get the widest corner entry he can as he forces Burgy down to the apron. Burgy racing really hard for this one. He's a 3-time winner in WORC. He got 2 in the Truck Series, 1 in the Super Speedway Series. Josh Patterson himself also a 3-time winner. Patterson's experience, he copped 1 in the Street Stock Series at the Roval. And then he's got 2 in the trucks, 1 at Atlanta, 1 at Lime Rock as they make contact. Joe Burgy's right front to Patterson's left rear as they are side by side here. Blake Kennedy dropping way far back, further than he probably would like to, as Patterson really pinching down Burgy. Patterson may cause a yellow here. Patterson gets moved up the racetrack. He's going to clip. He's going to take out Blake Kennedy. He's going to take out Chris Jones.
The yellow flag is out.
Wow. Patterson caused all that. We'll have to take a look at the replay, obviously, but he pinched down on Burgy, and he loses his left front wheel because of that. Henry Klappert, thankful for that caution, as we're going to head into the WORC replay real quick, and we're going to take a quick look there. We're going to see if we can get a good angle on this one, as Josh Patterson pinching down hard onto Joe Burgy may have caused an issue here. All right, we're back. Replay graphic is up real quick. So right here, Patterson and Burgy side by side, they make contact. Burgy moves up a little bit. Patterson was pinching down, comes down into Kennedy, who ends up clipping Jones, and then Jones gets finished off by Patterson. Tough break for Patterson, who's been up front. Probably the most aggressive driver in this field. And wow, that is really tough, as we will now bring you back to the live action here. Joe Burgy in the lead. Um, Honestly, I could call that either way on Burgy or Patterson. Looked more like a racing incident. Burgy got the apron, Patterson was pinching down, and it just, they were racing really hard. They put a lot of pressure on each other, battling for the lead, and, Josh Patterson, I keep mentioning it, his aggression. He is a guy who doesn't fear anything. You see him in open wheel cars making some dangerous moves, man. Blake Kennedy really going to benefit from the yellow here, as that is Boyd Payne back on the racetrack with no front end. Parker White back on track. Henry Klappert repaired that front nose. He's going to be back to running up front here. Lots of damaged cars. Chris Jones coming out of pit road now. We're going to go work standby real quick. And we're back here, lap 68. Here at the Bristol Motor Speedway between Joe Burgy, Blake Kennedy, Jay Mulder, and Henry Klappert, I believe, is the last undamaged car. They've been racing pretty clean. It's been some good racing. Unfortunate thing is these are open wheel cars, so the slightest contact really does a number. And unfortunately, we just saw Josh Patterson learn the brunt of that as he got shot up the racetrack. Came back down into Blake Kennedy. However, Kennedy seems to be fine from that. Unfortunately, Chris Jones in the 896 suffered the worst from that, as we see Patterson still on pit road, Parker White exiting pit road, Henry Klappert exiting pit road, Ryan Martin off pit road, Boyd Payne on track, missing a front end. I believe Chris Jones may have called it a day here in the 896. Unfortunate for him. We were really interested to see how that happened. Meanwhile, pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to see when he makes the hard left turn on the pit road, and Joe Burgy will be leading this one off this time. Blake Kennedy found himself P2 last restart. Didn't quite get the best one though. However, that was with Josh Patterson P1. As we see here, pace truck, excuse me, pulls off. Burgy gets time to restart. Burgy times it really well. Kennedy doesn't really get going, and lots of cars are stuck behind the damaged vehicle of Boyd Payne. Payne trying to dive himself to the inside. Ooh, close there. Can't really blame that on anybody, as, Boyd has a lot of damage, probably just penalties they got. So we got a 3-horse race for the lead here as Truck Series champion Jay Mulder once again competing with Joe Burgy for the win in something. Burgy slowing down. Mulder takes the lead. Does Burgy have damage? Burgy is slow, and he's going to pull it down to pit road. Trouble for the 83 as Klappert and White and Martin, with mostly clean cars, as Klappert blinks out for a second there, are going to battle it out. But Kennedy and Mulder here with just 15 laps to go, I believe, are racing this one really hard. Or will they? I don't know if Kennedy can catch Mulder. The draft in these things is insane, but we've really narrowed this field down. And Kennedy gets loose right there. Tags his right rear on the outside wall, and you really cannot be making contact in these things. Meanwhile, back here for third, Parker White gets by Henry Klappert, and Klappert trying to pinch Martin and White down. Klappert trying to battle them back. As Mulder and Kennedy now, with Burgy back on track. Burgy may have had a pit road penalty, not too sure what happened there. Kennedy blinks out. So Klappert and White battling for P3 right now. Kennedy blinks back in, and he is in the draft of the 33. Not sure what's going to happen here. We're going to have to see what Joe Burgy does. We're going to have to see if Burgy likes to play Mr. Nice Guy or not. And Jay Mulder, he has 0 career wins in WORC. However, as I've noted earlier, he is the Truck Series champion. That's right, he won that just about a month ago. When lots of chaos happened, we had we had over 15 cars finish on the lead lap in that race. Unfortunately, none of them were championship contenders, and maybe Joe Burgy remembering a little bit of that as he's going to take the racing line away from Mulder into the corner right there. And this is where Blake Kennedy has to use Burgy as a pick. He has to try to get to Burgy right here. Kennedy's going to use him really well. Kennedy had to run to the inside. Couldn't quite use it. Mulder trying to get to the outside to get by Burgy. And Burgy's not going to move. Kennedy now to the inside of Mulder. Blake Kennedy, Jay Mulder side by side. What will Burgy do? Kennedy's going to have to try to move up the track to clear Burgy. Kennedy's got the lead. Kennedy's staying behind Burgy. Now Kennedy's going to go to the outside. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the JP Designs Open Wheel Tours. Blake Kennedy has just taken home a win. I had a little bit of technical issues with my mic right there at the end. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna pull your winner in now, Blake Kennedy, into the WORC broadcast booth. Blake Kennedy, you're in the WORC broadcast booth for the first time as a winner. Do you have a copy, bud? Blake. Blake, you just won. You just won your first ever race in WORC. You just won your first ever league race. I I have really no words. I mean, as your team owner, I guess I'm a little bit biased on that, but I really I really don't know. Wow, I don't really know what to say. Blake, run me through those last few laps battling with Jay Mulder. You see Jay Mulder run into the back of Joe Burgy, and you take the lead. Run me through that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start on the restart, or before that restart, when I believe it was Josh, somebody else got taken out.
Yeah,
And
Josh and I can't remember who else. Josh and somebody else though. Yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
they got taken out. And after that, I saw it because Joe caused that, and I saw myself. I had a real shot of winning that race because there's only gonna be 4 cars on the lead lap, and 2 had pretty significant amount of damage. So um, I told myself I have a real shot at winning this race. And then me and Jay pulled away from the field. Jay was definitely faster, but then we caught Joe as a lap car. Joe was holding his line. And then since Jay had to pass him up high, it became a battle for the win. And then, yeah, Jay hit the back of Joe. I think he was trying to make it 3 wide or something. It knocked off his wheel. And after that, I thought his caution was going to come out because it was 2 to go when that happened. And I believe there's another wreck in the back um, coming to the white flag. So I'm lucky I actually got this win, but
Hey man,
yeah.
whatever it takes to win, you've got to get that win. Um, what was your strategy in the race? I noticed you started P3, you had a really good Q run, but then you dropped yourself to the apron and let everybody by, let them get in front. What was your strategy for the race?
Well, I dropped bot to the back because they were telling me I was blinking, so I just did it out of courtesy. And I also, I want to keep the car clean because, as you saw, only, 4 cars finished on the lead lap?
We actually had like
So,
7 or 8, but yeah,
really?
maybe it was 7 or 8. I don't know. I looked.
I don't know.
I'm
Oh,
sure
no,
we had at least
5
the
with
top
Joe.
five.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I just keep my car out of trouble. I avoided all the wrecks. I got into one with Josh hitting the wall and coming down, but it didn't give me too much damage. I was able to keep going.
All right. Well, Blake, before I let you go, you have anybody you want to thank tonight for your win?
I want to thank Joe Burgy for causing that. But I mean, he didn't. It wasn't his fault, but he had certainly helped me. Thank my team and Outlaw Racing. Outlaw Racing won 2 for tonight. How about that?
Yeah, that doesn't happen too
And
often.
yeah, man,
All right,
great
Blake.
race.
Well, congratulations. You just won your first league race in WORC, and you just assumed the points lead on top of that. So congratulations. Let's see if you can keep this momentum heading into next week at the Charlotte Roval. Congratulations, Blake. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody. That was Blake Kennedy, P1. Tonight. Oh, my bad. Whoops. Didn't mean to pop that up there. Uh, all right. Uh, there we go. Uh, that was enough. All right. Here we go, everybody. We're gonna drag in P2 now. First time this guy's ever been P2 in his life. Career best finish. We're gonna drag him into the booth. Henry Klappert, you're in the WORK TV booth. You got a copy, bud.
Yes. 10-4.
Henry, what's up, man? You get P2 tonight. You were battling for the lead with Josh Patterson and got some front nose damage. That caution probably couldn't have come at a better time for you. Unfortunately, though, due to the way iRacing system works, you got stuck behind Boyd Payne, who was missing a front end, couldn't really go anywhere. Um,
Yeah.
Run me through that though. That run back to P2, running up front. You were up front most of the race. You drove from gosh, I don't know, maybe ninth or 10th
ninth
up to the top 5. Yeah,
ninth
ninth
place.
place. Drove yourself up to the top 3 battling for the lead. Um, Run me through that that aggression. You made a few moves, you got yourself up to the front. Run me through what got you to the front tonight.
I don't know. I think it was just the draft. To be honest with you, like the draft caught up with everybody, and we're all stacked up together, like racing hard and aggressive, and that was like the best of the race until I got front nose damage, and then that restart when I got like my car fixed and everything. Um, when I got stuck behind, I forgot what's his name, but it's whatever. Um, but after that, after we got past the lap car, it was okay.
All right, man. Well, you were for sure very exciting there, making the right moves and all the right adjustments and stuff. Towards the end there, I know you got stuck behind Boyd, and you were battling with Parker White for P2, but what was your reaction when you saw Jay Mulder basically run himself into the back of Joe Burgy? Did you think, dude, I'm gonna get second, and if something happens to Blake, I have a chance to win? But you had that like guaranteed podium at that moment. Like, run me through that.
Yeah. To be honest, I was just calm the whole time. I just had to get past Parker, and if something happened to Blake, I could have just got the win, but nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to my teammate. So, and then I feel sorry for Parker because I ruffled him up a little bit, like on the closing laps, and he hit the apron, got loose, and I passed him. I feel bad, but it's racing.
Yeah. All right, Henry. Before I let you go tonight, off of your great P2 finish, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank my team motor, Braison Collins,
Ironic.
for for outlaw racing.
All right, man. Well,
I just want to say, outlaw racing got 1 and 2.
yeah, you and your teammate, you guys did a great job tonight. Congratulations, Henry, on finishing P2 tonight, and we will see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, that was Henry Klappert, the man who got P2. We're going to go to the man right behind him who took home P3. We're going to bring home Ryan Martin into the WORC TV booth. Um, Ryan, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Ryan. Well, man, I don't really know what to say about that one.
Neither do I.
You throughput at the beginning there, had some computer issues, were a lap down at one point in that race, and then you finish it out with a podium. Your second podium
Well,
of the
and I
season.
almost flipped.
Yeah. So, I guess run me through those computer issues at the beginning. How did you overcome those?
Well, the first one, I was just an idiot. Of course, I go, oh, I actually load in this time. Then I hit the wrong button on my keyboard. My computer tries to load something, and iRacing crashes. So that's always fun. And then the second time, it just didn't load.
Yeah, I heard you say something about, whoa, finally my computer loads, and then yeah, that
Dead. Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Um, so wow, you finished P3. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I'd like to thank Joe for killing half the field, but
I mean, I don't know. Jay Mulder kind of got into the bag, and we're gonna hear his thoughts soon. All
well,
right. Well, you were gone last week for both Modifieds and the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour here. But you overcame it. You're P3, and I believe that's going to move you up into the. Sorry, I believe that's going to move you up the point standings quite a bit here, especially with points leader Adam Morrow not running tonight. So Ryan, you got anybody you want to thank tonight before I let you
my friend Maddie, because she got mad at me for not doing it the first week.
go? All right. Well, I hope your friend Maddie was listening in, and I hope.
Probably not.
Well, I hope they enjoyed watching you survive going a lap down and computer issues. Take P3 here. Congratulations, Ryan.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, it's Ryan Martin, P3. Now we're going to talk with some other drivers here who had some things go on in the race. In fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk to Parker White here. Parker, you're in the WORC TV booth. You had a copy.
Yeah, guy.
Hard racing at the end, and you come home just short of a podium there to Ryan Martin and Henry Klappert. I kind of missed the last couple laps there between you and Klappert. Was watching that battle between Kennedy and Mulder for the lead. So run me through what happened there.
Yeah, that's honestly a really fun race there. At the end, it was just three of us battling there, and I was the leader there on the white flag, and then I was just trying to hang on to it, and Henry just had my back bumper a little, and I just lost it
Yeah,
going down the back stretch.
yeah. Henry did mention
But
in his interview he did want to apologize to you. I don't know if he did or not in the race, but he felt bad for what happened.
oh yeah, that's just what would happen or what happens. So luckily, I got the car back going and finished fourth.
Yeah, I mean, fourth place still better than nothing. Of course, Blake Kennedy was right behind you in the point standings. He took that win. Earlier in the race, you were battling really hard for the lead, side by side with Aiden Kirker, throwing some names like Josh Patterson, Joe Burgy were also in that fight for the win. And then you got some rear wing damage. How bad did the rear wing damage affect you for most of the race after that?
Um, I came in after that caution came out. That came out because of that big crash, and that's where I got that damage from. So I came in and I had like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of optional damage. So I got about a minute of that fixed. And honestly, the car wasn't really that far off pace because I was able to keep pace with the leaders there. I think the key of keeping pace is just to stay in the draft, and you got to really get a good restart there because that's the reason why the three of us weren't up at the front at the end there. So yeah, that's basically just how it went.
Yeah, I saw that whole restart thing. Unfortunately, due to however iRacing wanted to set you guys there, you guys got stuck behind the 27 of Boyd Payne with front end damage. So a little bit tough there. You guys didn't really have that chance to fight for the lead with Kennedy and Mulder. But do you have anybody you want to thank tonight before I let you go?
Yeah, of course. I've got to thank my team, McGrath Sim Sport, and a few sponsors, Sponge Lawn Care and Yellow Media, and of course you, Braison, for all the broadcasts.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for racing every week. And I mean, you won last week. Come up short this week, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a good battle between you and Blake, and maybe Adam if he's able to show up again. I don't know, but I feel like you and Blake are going to be a good points battle for the season. Congratulations, Parker, on P4. Not the worst. Still got a top five right there, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, that was Parker White, P4. Now we're gonna run it up with Jay Mulder. Uh, Jay, you're in the WORC TV booth. Give me a second here. I gotta find your car on track since you had that issue there. All right, Jay, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, I do.
So, what we're showing on stream is not exactly what you would think of your race. No front tires or anything. Joe Burgy was a very stagnant lap car, and things happened, and it cost you the win. Run me through your point of view of what happened there those last few laps between you and Kennedy and Burgy.
Well, having a good battle for the lead going at it, and you know, good on, good on him for getting the win there. That was a good battle, but yeah, lap traffic blocking us like that is just silly. It's ridiculous, and really, really frustrating. I mean, did nothing wrong all race to deserve that. Kept it clean, had no damage, not involved in anything, and then trying and trying and trying to get by him, and he held the bottom. And I mean, he knew what he was doing. He fully intended to do that, but I don't know why or why he felt that was necessary. But
All right, Jay. Well, tough break. You put yourself in position to win there at the end, come up short. You have anybody you want to thank tonight before I let you go?
yeah, I want to thank Joe Burgy for screwing us once again.
All right. Well, Jay Mulder not too happy about Joe Burgy tonight. Thank you, Jay, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, we are going to bring in the man who Jay Mulder was mad at. Of course, I wanted to get Jay's opinion on that one first. We are going to talk to Joe Burgy up here in the WORC TV booth. Joe did place P5. Joe, you got a copy?
I was in the middle of a conversation that kind of scared me, but yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if you caught any of that interview, but Jay Mulder not too satisfied with you, so I'm bringing you into the booth here today to ask you what your thought was on it.
So you didn't drag me in because I got 5th. You're dragging me in because of that. Okay, I see.
Well, I mean, you did
But
get 5th.
no,
Congratulations
I'm
on your
kidding. I'm
top
kidding.
5.
I know. Yeah, I know. But well, first off with Mulder, you know, I like the guy. He's all right, but sometimes you gotta own up to your own mistakes. I didn't do anything wrong. I held my line. I didn't block him. He ran into the back of me. So if he thinks that I did wrong, then to him I did wrong. But to me and probably everybody else who has the right answer on that, I didn't, and I did really well, or I didn't do anything wrong. At least in that situation. We're not gonna talk about the half of the field that I accidentally wrecked, but
Yeah, I actually did want to I wanted to ask you not necessarily about the incident with Mandoncha, but the incident with Josh Patterson there about 3/4 of the way through that race. Patterson pinching you down, you guys battling hard for the lead, shooting each other 3 wide. I believe Parker White was the guy you kept going 3 wide with. Um, what happened there between you and Josh? Did you guys communicate what happened there? Who may be at fault for that? I believe I kind of see both ways it could have gone, but I want to hear your input on that.
that I'll take complete blame for that. I slid up, got into him, immediately apologized over the radio. So unlike Jay, I can actually own up for my mistakes twice and more than twice. But yeah, it sucks for Patterson. I didn't want to take him out of the race. I didn't want to take Richard out of the race. I didn't want to take any of them guys out of the race. Even Jay, even the guy I didn't necessarily wreck. I really didn't want to take anybody out. I just wanted the race as clean as I could, and we were racing really hard. That's just kind of hard racing there. Um, and yeah, honestly, I don't like to take people out both on purpose or on accident. And even if I'm not at fault, I will still apologize. But uh, in the rare instance, I'm actually not. But in that case, I just wish everybody else luck and hope next week is gonna be better.
All right, Joe, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight before I let you go?
I got to thank my sponsors, Red Bull, for sticking onto the program. Got to thank really, I guess this whole league, especially you for putting on the broadcast, and with all the hard racing that was going on, and yeah, that's really everything.
All right, my bad. Had a little bit of a mic issue there, but thank you, Joe, for that. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut off the stream a little bit early. I had a couple guys in the interview booth that I wanted to interview, but thank you, Joe, for that. And we'll talk to you later. Um, Thank you, everybody, for being here for Work Skippies at Bristol. Fun one here. Lots of chaos, but lots of good racing as well. Lots of good pack racing here.